Yes. Now we can start.
All right. It's good to see so many of you joined.
Yeah, very welcome. Margie, how was your holidays?
Hi. Oh, good. Yeah, I missed 2 sessions. I was on trip. So yeah, it was good.
All right,
Refreshing.
you'll catch up, I'm sure.
Yeah. I restart anyway. So yeah, nice to see you again.
Same here.
Great.
Okay, solution evaluation. Let's start.
I want
First
to remind
question.
everyone, this is one of the 2 hardest chapters, the 2 hardest knowledge areas. So don't beat yourself up. We're here to identify what our gaps are, and then we can fix it.
Okay, first one. If the performance measures defined to evaluate the effectiveness of a solution are not sufficient to help stakeholders determine solution value, what actions should a business analyst take to address this situation? First, conduct change control and create high-level estimates. Collect more measures and treat the lack of measures as a solution risk. Revisit the business objectives. Consider the time period use. Which one do you think is the answer?
I think we can eliminate D because the time period used is probably not the issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe B.
Yeah, I go with B too as boy.
As for me, it's task measures solution performance, and if we could not measure, we need to change approach of our measurements.
Let's test B.
Let's check it. Woohoo! Great.
Great.
The second one is production personnel have to complete a significant amount of paperwork for each batch of new product. Much of the paperwork asks for exact same information and the worker has to manually enter it on every form. This is contributing to the plant missing its monthly production goals unless it offers overtime, which eats away profit. Melissa is a BA tackling this issue and suggests pre-printing forms with batch information to avoid having to manually enter it. What type of recommendation is this? Necessity, avoid waste, reduce complexity of interfaces, eliminate redundancy.
D as a dog.
Sounds like a C.
Okay. C. Okay, why C?
You would want to reduce complexity. However, I'm not answering based on paperwork again.
Okay, it's a fair answer. And why D?
Because we just eliminate manual work, right? And for me, it's the best answer.
This is
Now I
a
need a tiebreaker or a new option.
I go with D, the last one as well, due to the question that said much of the paperwork asked for the exact same information and the worker has to manually enter it on every form. So it seems that there is a redundancy.
Okay, I'll check D then. It is right. Great. Okay, we have the same situation. And second question is, what might Melissa cite as an additional benefit of the recommendation to help sell it to approvers? Additional benefits aren't needed as the recommendation is straightforward and logical. The paperwork will be easier to read as some workers' handwriting is horrible. Pre-printing will reduce errors related to paperwork by 3%, saving $23,000 annually. Employees will see evidence that the company is listening to their complaints and doing something about it. Employee morale will increase and with it productivity and quality.
C as a cat.
Okay, I am really intrigued to know the reasoning behind it.
It's just something we can measure, right? The rest we could not measure.
Yeah, but we don't have any information in the question where we can say, okay, how much will be the saving annually? But it's a good logic. It is a good
But I
answer
think
as well.
something it just we don't know, right? But it doesn't mean there are no such information. It's quite easy to calculate if that information would be there.
I like C because whenever we're talking about selling it to approvers, usually we're talking about presenting it to executives who are looking at the bottom line. They want to know what the return on investment is, and they like the numbers. But let's see what the answer is.
Anyone else is saying any other option apart from C?
I have 1D in the chat.
Okay, so 2 votes for C, 1 for D. I'll check C because I have more votes for this one.
Okay.
Wow, C is right. This is a logical answer and not specifically cited in the BABOK. It's also smart.
Y'all remember what SMART stands for? It's an acronym.
Objective,
Yeah, it's an
The
acronym.
BABOK
I
loves it.
remember we did this
measurable.
mistake
Yeah.
once.
Just be sure you know it. I've seen that acronym be used in many questions in the practice test questions.
Smart goals. Okay, same scenario. Last question. Congratulations. Melissa's recommendation was accepted. What will she need to ensure happens as a result to measure value? Evaluate the solution of the pre-printed labels to ensure the forecasted value promised is realized. Develop the processes related to pre-printing labels. Communicate the decision to production personnel. Inspect the labels once printed to gain assurance that the new process fulfills quality standards.
I think A, because we need to measure that solution and if approach worked or not based on the recommendation.
I agree here.
Yeah, I'd agree with A.
Okay,
My
let's
vote.
check. Okay, let's check A. A is the right answer.
Awesome.
Wow, we are on a roll today.
The BABOK talks a lot about being able to measure the benefits of the solution.
Yeah. When would the techniques of process modeling, observation, workshops, document analysis, and organizational modeling have the most value when assessing enterprise-related obstacles to realizing solution value? Assess solution limitations, stakeholder impact analysis, assess enterprise limitations, enterprise culture assessment.
I'm terrible with remembering techniques per task. I don't know how to remember, but I think it's C because we are saying about assessing enterprise obstacles, and for me, just assess enterprise limitations.
Okay, that's a great logic. And I think stakeholder impact analysis and enterprise culture assessment are not the task, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's part
Yeah,
element of the task, but not the task itself.
Okay. Anyone else has any other options to be considered?
Let's test it.
Oh, it is a stakeholder impact analysis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all of these techniques would give insight to which a stakeholder group or roles are impacted by the solution and in what way. This is correct, but too broad an answer.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
That was a tricky question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't say if it is a task or element, because if it said, it would be simpler just to understand that what is task, what is element.
Also, CBAP is tricky.
Yeah.
They ask us to, okay, analyze the question that what we are asking. Is it element? Is it task? Is it technique? And then answer.
Yeah, and sometimes, oh, it's too broad answer, or oh, it's just something not should be really exactly.
I want to
It's so
draw
hard.
your attention to the middle of the question when assessing enterprise related obstacles. So that's assess enterprise limitations.
So you mean yeah, but you what for enterprise limitation? You mean enterprise related, not only enterprise, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So obstacles
interesting.
would be replaced with the synonym of limitations. It kind of gave us the answer in the question, but we didn't pay attention to it. You got to look at every word.
How
You have
does
to analyze question with magnifying glasses.
how does it relate to stakeholder impact analysis though? Because talking about solution value.
Because I think stakeholders are related to enterprise and we are assessing the enterprise related obstacles.
You're right. You're right. I was
With that
still
reason,
looking at answer C, not answer B. My mistake.
okay, let's move forward. It was a
Kind of
good discussion.
element of I think they are asking about element of enterprise limitation rather than the task. If they say what task should be there, so maybe we would answer with the enterprise limitation.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yep. Who is an experienced business analyst who is working on a project where senior management are looking for her input on the replacement of an existing solution. She has identified the fact that the solution has reached the end of its life. What recommendation should Anu make to senior management? Reduce complexity of interfaces, identify additional capabilities, retire the solution, make organizational changes.
See, retire the solution because it's end of its life. What is saying in the question?
Maybe we can identify additional capabilities.
And why do you think, Lanjil, it's B, identified additional capabilities?
Yeah, I just read the one it says that she's identified the fact that the solution has reached its end of life. Maybe we can look at I know that C sounds more like, yeah, retire the solution, but if there are any other additional capabilities, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good logic too.
I think it asks us so some solution just doesn't have any update because it is old. As for me, end of life because it's really old or outdated solution. Because it's just hard to support. I think that's why maybe retire is good answer.
So the task that we're in right now is assess solution limitations, right?
I go with B too.
Let's
I
test the
think that
answer.
we need
Test
to
B
identify
then.
some more values, yeah. Oh, see.
With C. This would help if
was
organization were
wrong.
going to add future capabilities, but since the solution has reached the end of its life, adding more capability would be useless.
So the task we were on was recommend actions to increase solution value. So this is the one for after it's already been implemented. Okay.
Let's move forward. Harold has documented how factors external to the solution are restricting value realization. What task is he performing? Assess enterprise limitations, assess solution limitations, analyzing performance measures, measure solution performance. All factors external to solution are restricting the value.
Assess enterprise limitation.
Okay, and why it is A?
Because it's asking external factors, right? And it is task. and I see only enterprise limitation as something external to the solution, as a task, right? Because rather the rest is measure, analyze, and assess solution limitation, which is not okay.
Anyone else has any other options in mind?
I think A was in the chat.
Okay, then I'll check with A.
I don't know exactly if that's the
A
question.
is right. Great. DEMA is a BA assigned to the evaluation of a solution that isn't delivering value to the level forecasted during the project. She has gone into project archives and is reviewing all available project documentation. Why is she doing that? She is working to understand the potential value of the solution. She is trying to familiarize herself with the stakeholders impacted by the solution. She is primarily concerned with the solution requirements to ensure current performance measures are relevant. She is reviewing the project objectives to better understand what solution was supposed to achieve. Wow, that's pretty tricky question.
I
feel
think
like all the
not
options
A
are correct.
Oh, sorry. I think not A and not B,
Okay, and why are
Oh.
you eliminating those?
because potential value, we define potential value in the requirements definition. Oh my God, the requirements analysis and design definition, right? Here we just evaluate solution. So we already have solution in place. So that's why I don't like A. So B, maybe B, if you say about stakeholder impact.
I'm not sure that you would do that action to familiarize yourself with stakeholders, to go into the project archives. We do have a D in the chat from Deborah.
I
I
go
think
with
D,
D
I
as
think
above
D
too.
too.
I have 2 votes for D then.
Me too. D.
Let's check with D then. Is A.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Potential value is listed as an input to analyze performance measures, which what the question is asking. The forecasted level is dash, a benchmark against which solution performance can be evaluated.
And it has the word forecasted there that we all missed.
We did.
Yeah, forecast, yeah.
As I said, magnifying glasses.
I've heard so many students working on the BABOK say it's one word. I missed one word. Or I read the first half of the answer and I didn't read the second half of the answer. So yeah, magnifying glasses.
Yeah, or just misread. I was just misreading a question when I answer incorrectly. I said, oh my God, how?
But this is where we have to make the mistakes to learn. This is our gap
Yeah.
analysis. I'd
Yeah,
rather make a mistake
absolutely.
now than later.
Yeah.
So
And
let's do it
whatever
now.
mistakes we are doing now, and we will remember those words. If we encounter those words in the exam, we will remember, okay, we missed this.
Like
Maybe this
catch, yeah,
can let us know what is the answer.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. An organization has delayed replacing the operating system for employees' computers for years due to the cost associated with the change. Microsoft stopped supporting the operating system and employee productivity has suffered as repairs are delayed, if they happen at all. A BA recommends that the operating system be retired and replaced with the latest and greatest. Which of the following financial factors carried the most weight in the recommendation? Opportunity cost, sunk cost, necessity, ongoing cost versus initial investment. I think it's necessity.
Why you think necessity?
I've got a C in the chat as well.
Mhm.
Okay, let's check C.
We've got a B also.
C is the right answer.
Okay.
Solution component is obsolete and next to impossible to maintain.
But why not sunk cost then? Sunk cost. It's also
Let's check.
What does it say?
This describes the money and effort already expended on an initiative.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
The-
there are no information how much you spent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the BABOK it does note that people have a tendency to say, but we've already put $10,000 into it. It doesn't matter. Ignore that. What do you
Mhm.
need to go forward with? Don't worry about how much you spent, and that's sunk cost.
Yep.
Peter and his team have defined desired performance measures to assess the performance of a solution. Many of these measures are new to the organization. What is Peter's next step? Gain approval for the new measures, trace the performance measures to business objectives, and show that the enterprise has methods in place to capture the measurements, assign ownership of, and determine the frequency of measurements.
Maybe B, trace performance.
I vote for B.
Okay. Who votes for B?
I
You
got
check it?
B in the chat.
Great, then I'll check it. It is C.
Ooh,
Ensure that the
that's
enterprise
true.
has
It should have
metrics.
already been done when you define the performance measures. But it doesn't say it was
It
done.
doesn't say, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
ensure the enterprise has methods in place to capture the
Here the
measurements.
measurements.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
That makes perfect sense.
It does. Okay, next question. A solution architect has a paper prototype of the system for which you are the BA. She asks you to evaluate the solution to ensure it meets the defined measurements before she passes it on to the developers, as she is going on vacation and won't be available for rework. How do you respond? You advise that your first evaluation is scheduled after the development and will let her know the results. You trace the requirements to her design to provide confidence that the system will work. You suggest she build a working prototype for evaluation purposes before development. You advise her to talk to quality assurance as they will be conducting the test. I think I
Okay,
can eliminate A.
I think we can eliminate C.
Yeah.
And having her talk to quality assurance has some benefit, but I like B a whole lot more. To be sure that her design meets the requirements that were originally gathered.
Yeah, I like B too.
I've got B in the chat as well.
Okay, let's check it then. It is C.
Oh,
Working prototype must exist and used.
Saying requirements will not provide confidence in actual solution performance.
Yeah, but there are few types of prototypes, right?
right.
And I think there is paper prototype, like just mock-up.
I think what we missed is it meets the defined measurements, because we can say it meets the requirements by on paper, but until it's actually doing something, we can't actually measure it.
Oh, before it is developed. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So either she builds a working prototype or somebody else builds a working prototype so we can test it and get measurements.
Makes sense.
It was a very confusing question.
It was challenging. Let's do this one better.
Okay, an organization purchased a new project management system 3 years ago. While the system has several bells and whistles, the organization has been using it primarily as a project repository and time tracking system. The CIO goes with another project management vendor and has learned a new system that sounds awesome. David has been assigned as a BA to assess the new solution based on stakeholder needs. What might be his recommendation? To retire the current solution and purchase the new, to address the organizational change aspect of the proposed change proactively, as getting people to use the current system took over a year, to review and compare the two systems, to objectively make a decision regarding the replacement based upon stakeholders' perception of value of the various features and functions of each system, to utilize the additional functionality of the current system, thereby fully utilizing the in-place system and eliminating the need for further investment.
I think C, we need to compare two systems to make decision, implement or not.
Honest,
I've
I
got
don't
C
like
in the
C
chat as well.
because of this.
But we need still to define value, no? Like potential value of the solution. For the new system, we still need to define it. So that's why I chose it.
Two C's in the chat as well.
I'll check the C. Okay, this is the right one. Given the CIO wants you to assess the new solution as a BA, you should find out what the features and functions are in new system and determine if the existing system provides similar features and functions. You will also want to find out which features and functions the stakeholders value, then make a recommendation.
Would you
Great.
test D for me? I'd like to see why it says D is wrong. No, D is in dog.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll check
please.
that.
Thank you. Yes.
This may be partially true. However, given the CIO wants you to assess the new solution as a BA, you must at least find out what the features and functions are in the new system, then determine if the existing system will provide the similar
That makes perfect
features.
sense. Okay, go back to C, check it, and let's go to on.
Yep. Okay, a small question. What is the difference between the roles of a tester and a BA regarding the evaluation of the solutions? They are interchangeable. They need to negotiate roles and responsibilities on a case-by-case basis. The BABOK doesn't suggest a delineation of responsibilities between these two roles for solution evaluation. The BA and tester are both typically responsible for identifying solution problems during a change, and a BA is responsible for assessing an existing solution outside of the change. The tester is typically responsible for identifying solution problems during a change versus assessing an existing solution outside of a change.
Maybe D.
How do you think, Oksana, it is D?
I'm just thinking if if BA responsible to identify problems. I remember like assess limitation, but not the problems. What the box says.
That's a good logic. I'm sure we can eliminate A 100% because they are not interchangeable for sure.
Yeah, and B2, right? We do not use. We use split between two roles.
Yeah, B2. Although in real world, we do interchangeably work as a tester too in some cases.
Yes,
But
we
not
do.
what the book says.
Yeah, but BABOK doesn't say that.
Yeah, that's the case.
Anyone else has any other option in mind?
Let's see in the chat.
We've got a C in the chat.
Okay, so I
I'm
have a
thinking
C and a
about
D.
C too.
Okay, I have 2 votes for C then. Okay, I'll check C then.
I'm quite sure D is correct.
D is the right answer.
That's what you said. It's true in our world.
Does not
Babok
reflect the
says-
guidance in Babok.
Yeah. Babok says we're split. They
Yeah,
take care of it during a change and we look at it after and outside of the change.
and your reasoning was perfectly aligned, Oksana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next one. You are assessing the effectiveness of a new governance structure that was just put in place as part of a portfolio management program. One of the complaints from the stakeholders is that decisions take too long to make. You discover that approvals involve review from 3 decision-making bodies that meet monthly before obtaining final approval from the sponsor and portfolio manager. You submit a recommendation to simplify this process by eliminating some of the back and forth. How would this recommendation be categorized? Avoiding waste, identifying additional capabilities, reducing complexity of interfaces, or making organizational changes.
See, reduce complexity. Because we eliminate something, so we reduce complexity.
Yeah, I said recommendation to simplify this process.
So you mean C, right? On which one?
Yes,
You
it's,
also mean C, no?
it seems that it's
I'm
just
just
the
thinking
meaning
about
of
A,
simplify.
but I don't remember A, avoid waste in the recommendation, honestly.
We have 2 C's in the chat.
I have 4 C's in total. And C is
And
the right one.
ta-da.
Let's get 85.
And
Okay. Cheryl has just completed her analysis of a solution's performance measures that she collected to determine the value of the solution provides to the enterprise. What will she do next? Determine if the solution aligns with the goals and objectives, assess the solution limitations and identify the causes for the limitations, determine if the measures are qualitative or quantitative, create key performance indicators.
Maybe B, because first we measure performance, then we analyze, and then we assess solution limitation. It is what I remember, like a task. The rest doesn't suit for me.
Okay. Anyone else is saying anything else or going with B?
Let's test it. That is correct.
No, you are so ready for the test.
Oh
Yes.
no, I'm just afraid that I will mess it up.
Don't spend energy focused on that. Have confidence in yourself.
Be positive.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I need.
Okay. Which input describes the value that may be realized by implementing the proposed future state? It can be used as a benchmark against which solution performance can be evaluated. Business objectives, potential value, relationship management, solution performance measures.
I've got 1A.
Okay. This is
Not
definitely an input.
potential value.
Okay.
I'm just thinking between A and B input.
I've got a second A.
Okay, then I'll check with A. It is B.
And B is correct.
Business
Well-
objectives are an input to measuring solution performance and does not describe the value that may be implemented in proposed future state.
Oh yeah, value. You see, in question there is value, maybe
Mhm.
realized. So it's potential value. Value might be realized.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Val is a BA who has been asked to evaluate a software solution which supports vital business functions. When the software doesn't perform, employees can't perform. Val discovers after analyzing 3 months worth of recent data that the software's transacting ability deteriorates noticeably around lunchtime and significantly every Thursday about 4 p.m. What has Val discovered? A theme, a variance, a trend, a pattern.
I think trend, like peak hours, something like that.
Why not any other by trend?
Not variance because there are no some like two numbers, right? Not team because I just don't remember team, and pattern, maybe pattern, but I don't know. I just think trend, like peak hours, you know.
In the chat, we've got 1 C and we've got 3 Ds, as in dog.
3 Ds. Wow. Okay, then I'll check D because I have 2 versus 3.
And
It is
trend
C.
is correct. So we call it a pattern, but the BABA calls it a trend.
Yes.
Okay.
Output has a business analyst developed when it can provide a description of the current limitations of the enterprise, including how the solution performance is impacting the enterprise. Enterprise limitation, item tracking, solution limitation, risk analysis results. Output.
So we're in the task analyze performance measures. Do y'all agree with that? Maybe not. Tell me what you think. Oh, I'm sorry.
Description of the
Task
current-
assess solution limitations. So what is the output of that one?
But it says description of the current limitation of the enterprise.
I think it is assess enterprise limitation task.
Yeah, a business analyst developed description of the current limitation of the enterprise. So maybe it's
probably right.
enterprise limitation.
It's enterprise, not solution. Let's test it.
But then second part says including solution performance is impacting the enterprise. So next task in the is then solution limitation, right? And first one is enterprise limitation or not?
Asking output. So first we have to identify what task is it, then we can come to the output.
I think enterprise limitation because it is what in the question, in the first part of the question.
Okay, so I have 1 vote for A, 1 vote for C. Tiebreaker or new option?
I go with A.
Got 2
Okay.
votes for A. Let's test.
Is A. This is the output from the assess enterprise limitation task. Okay, Lucas is a BA who is assessing a seemingly underperforming solution. What sorts of things can Lucas do to gain a thorough understanding of the potential value that was expected for this solution? Lucas can assess the solution within the context of the enterprise goal and objectives and key performance indicators. Lucas can ensure performance measures are asking the right things in the right way with the right frequency. Lucas can evaluate and understand the potential value of the solution by comparing key performance indicators of similar solutions. Lucas can understand the potential value the solution by measuring its current performance.
D as a dog. I don't know, it asks potential value, and in the D, I just caught with potential value.
Okay.
Or A. A is also good. Price, goals, and objectives.
So are we in the task measure solution performance?
It's like,
Yep. Or analyze. Solution performance.
Or analyze performance measures?
Oh yeah, analyze. Yeah.
Because if we're in measure solution performance, in that one, the elements are to define solution performance measures, validate performance measures, and collect performance measures. I don't know if that helps or makes it harder.
D. I think D.
okay, so you are saying it is D.
Like, yeah, we collect potential value. I think yes. I don't know.
I don't know either. This one's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check it with D then.
Oh no, it's A.
A. This answer adds the enterprise goals and objectives, which is more comprehensive answer.
So this was analyze performance measures. 8.2.
Okay,
You need
it
to
was
have a
very tricky question.
expected. Oh,
Let's move forward. Which inputs would be leveraged by the business analyst to support measuring solution performance? Budget and timeline, current state description, implemented solution internal and business objectives, implemented solution external and business objectives.
and D, solution, internal and business objectives.
C, D.
I think in here,
D is
external
dog.
means external
I
to
bet
the webbook.
A D in the chat also. So this is asking for the inputs for the task measure solution performance.
Let's see it.
And we've got 1D in the chat also.
Yes, I have 2 for D.
I'm just thinking, what is the difference between external and internal? So we say external solution to the BA activities, or what it means.
Check C and see what it gives us for the, why that's not right, please.
Is the key that makes this incorrect.
Okay.
Okay, let's move forward. Who are the stakeholders that contribute to the major solution performance? Domain SME, documentation SME, regulator, sponsor, user, experience expert. Customer, domain SME, project manager, sponsor, regulator. Supervisor, director, end user, domain SME, customer, sponsor, developer. UI expert, developer, regulator, documentation SME, supervisor, or tester.
I
I
think
think we can eliminate both C and D because it has roles in it that we don't have in the BABOK.
and we don't have
User and UI
user,
expert, right?
yeah, and we don't have user experience expert in A. So I think only B much stakeholders.
I think user experience expert is also not in BABOK. I haven't read it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check B then. It is right. Okay, next one. Jake is evaluating an existing solution. He determines that the existing metrics can't be considered quality indicators and recommends modifications. He adds in his report that he does, however, consider them valid. How could lead Jack to his conclusion? What could lead Jack to his conclusion? There seemingly aren't key performance indicators which every solution is required to have. Existing indicators can't be considered reliable because they aren't collected frequently enough. Stakeholder expectations have changed, so the existing indicators aren't reliable. The environment has changed, so the existing indicators aren't reliable.
You got one D as in dog.
Okay.
I kind of like B. He considers them valid. I don't know. What does anybody else think?
But I don't like B because it doesn't ask how often we need to collect, right? You just say about quality. I think maybe D.
Let's test
Okay.
it.
I have 2 votes for D. I'll
Quality
check it.
standard, something like that.
It is B.
Oh,
While valid quality metrics must also be reliable and timely. This only speaks the validity. Okay.
yeah, very interesting.
Next question. An organization strategic vendor is having a year-end sales promotion on new software. The CIO is getting mixed opinions from his team and has asked Amy, who is a BA, to objectively assess both the in-place and the new software and provide a recommendation. Amy finds that functionality that would lend immediate value to the organization is basically the same. What might Amy do as a next step in her assessment? Complete a decision matrix to support her contention that the features are basically the same. Submit a recommendation that supports the status quo since little to no value would be realized. Complete a financial analysis to support how the cost would exceed the benefits. Explore how the additional capabilities in the new software could add future value.
Maybe financial analysis. It asks objectively assess, so maybe financial analysis will help.
Saying anything else? Like the silence. I am also very inclined to C because when it is C-level executive, C-suite executives, it's always numbers. Okay, I'll check with C then. It is D. Why C is wrong? This assumes that Amy is basically ending her assessment and is now just supporting her recommendation. See, it's completely different than what we would do in real life.
It's true.
Caitlin is a BA who has recommended that she perform an enterprise cultural assessment to understand why stakeholders aren't using a new solution to the extent forecasted. Which of the following is the best way to define enterprise culture? They are deeply rooted beliefs, values, actions, and norms shared by members of an enterprise. They are the deeply rooted beliefs, values, thoughts, and norms shared by the members of an enterprise. They are deeply rooted beliefs, values, and norms shared by the member of an enterprise. They are deeply rooted beliefs, values, actions, thoughts, and norms shared by members of an enterprise. Almost similar, just a word or two words
Yeah.
difference. So here it says values, beliefs, values, actions, and norms. Beliefs, values, thoughts, and norms. Beliefs, values, norms. And here it's everything: beliefs, values, action, thoughts, and norms.
I don't think thoughts is one of them.
Okay. So we can eliminate B and D.
I just doubt between A and C. I don't know. Norms, actions. Maybe C, but I don't know. We have action in A, and we don't have in C actions.
That's the only
Is
difference.
it actions or thoughts? I think thoughts are the triggers for actions, so I like thoughts better.
Okay.
So
So here you are
in-
saying it's B.
That's what I would answer if I were taking the test right now.
Would you
Anybody
answer,
else?
Oksana, if you are taking the test right now?
I don't know about thoughts. For me, I don't know. I think C, but I just don't know this one. James, why not thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thinking C. I don't remember coming across thoughts in enterprise culture. I think it's
Okay.
enterprise culture assessments. I
What
don't
about
remember seeing
actions?
actions or thoughts, so that's why I'm thinking C.
Let's
Why
try
not
it.
actions in A? In A, they have actions plus actions.
I don't see how an action would be considered within an enterprise culture, where the
Yeah,
values, the beliefs, and
makes
the
sense.
norms are kind of more, I suppose, prominent terms. That's my take on it.
Let's check. I see in chat what was it?
Let's just see. It is right.
And it's
No
C.
actions, no thoughts.
So it's beliefs, values, and norms.
Yes, it is.
Very good.
Okay,
We're on the last question.
it's a long one. Delivery sales have been decreasing 5% year over year for a company's bottled water offering. The water is delivered to a subscriber door in 5-gallon plastic jugs, which fit on top of dispenser. This is a common product in the bottled water industry. Alan has been asked to assess the solution to understand the reason for declining sales, as it has been company's steady source of revenue. For the above scenario, please answer this question. Alan found that as the population of the customer segment subscribing to this service aged, the 5-gallon jug were simply too heavy to hoist onto water dispenser, causing them to cancel the service. Alan brainstormed potential solutions and immediately completed a financial analysis to understand the cost benefit of manufacturing jugs that held 2.5 versus 5 gallons. That he was proud of the fact that 2.5-gallon jugs could have the same neck, so would fit existing dispensers. His recommendation was to go ahead with the manufacture of the new jugs along with the win-back campaign for the lost customers. What might he be missing in his recommendation? He needs to provide alternate actions in addition for consideration. He needs to provide decision makers with a view of what will happen if they do nothing. He needs to complete a risk analysis. Nothing is missing in his recommendation. All's process A and recommendation was right on.
I go
I
with
think
C.
not B and not D. I think C.
Yeah,
I've
risk
got a C in the chat as well.
Okay, I'll check the C then. And it is the right answer.
Is correct. Very good.
Alan is assuming that people will be able to lift 2.5 gallon jug. Assumptions are risk.
It's true.
Okay, it was the final question. Let's submit our exam. %56%.
For one of the two hardest knowledge areas in the whole thing, this is not really that bad. It just shows us some things we need to work on.
Questions were really tricky.
They are. They are.
Are these questions are the exact test questions? Are they were not collected from the previous
No,
exam?
they are not literal test questions. They are similar to the style and the content of what you'll see on the test.
Okay.
And
we
and
don't
most people
have access to that previous exam questions anyway.
No. Nope. And they take great pains to not allow you to, I mean, the one piece of paper that they give you whenever you're in there, you have to tear it up and throw it away before you leave. They won't let
Oh,
you.
really? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish I could
Very
find
careful.
some people.
And there is a rule. You could
It's a
not
bank
share
of,
exam test because IIBA can like cancel your certification if you share it. So something
yeah.
like this.
Ah,
And
Oh.
it is a bank of like thousands of questions, and it's random for yours. So even if you're sitting right beside somebody else who's taking the test, they're not taking the same test you're taking. in the
Oh,
same
no,
way.
I definitely know that it's not my trick, because I'm so loud, so definitely it's not my, yeah, but if I could do that, something behind the scene, I would do that, but yeah. It seems
I
it's
have
not.
a couple
Are
of
they
people I study
tricky?
with, and we've decided we should all take it together because together we make really good decisions. But you can't do it that way.
Sure.
Are they as tricky as watermark or not?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I mean, are they so tricky and so confusing as in watermark or just easier to read and understand?
Many of the people that take the CBAP certification test have said that watermark test questions are harder, but there's a couple of things you need to be aware of whenever you take the test. Firstly, the very first questions you see are hardest. So don't let that, don't quit just because they're the hard questions. There's a strategy you go through and you answer the questions that you can just, it's like, I know the answer. Answer those and flag the others to come back to. And then go back and go through the ones that you really have to, read and think about. And 10 minutes before the end of the test, go back and answer every single question, even if you have to just guess. Because if you don't answer a question, it will be counted wrong. So I'm confident that you're going to be just fine. I'm confident you're going to hit some and go, I have no idea what the answer is. That's normal. But they want you to pass. And so you're set up for success. You've got multiple choice instead of open-ended questions and all kinds of good stuff. But you've got to really study the BABOK. I want to talk just really briefly about some of us are not going to pass the first time. And if I hit the point where I take the test and it says I didn't pass, it's going to feel like a brick wall unless I have a strategy in place. So I created a strategy. I'm going to share it with you. My strategy is this. I don't want to lose any of the knowledge that I've worked to gain. Even if I fail, I may know, 80% of what I need. I have 20% I have to fix. I don't want to lose that 80% by waiting, just putting it off for 6 months. So my strategy is I'm going to spend a week, double down on it, and then I'm going to take the test again because I don't want to lose all this work we're doing.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a really good approach, because otherwise it'll take other 6 months, as you said. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I've
And you
graded
don't
only for
lose it.
2-3 weeks. It will take six more months to prepare for the test again.
Right. And I'm confident that many of you who have been putting in the work, you're going to be just fine. You know, it's a hard test. It's going to take hours. You're going to slog through it. Most of you are going to pass. But if you don't, we're going to still be here for you. We're still rooting for you. And I know that you can pass it. You just got to do a little bit more. Okay?
Yep.
So
yep.
next session, shall we do techniques or competencies?
Let's do solution evaluation, no?
Hmm.
Or you want
You want to
techniques?
do it again?
Okay,
I do.
we can do it again, no worries.
Okay.
So we'll do the solution evaluation
If-
again.
If everyone is okay, because I don't want to to make decision in my home.
Sure, no worries. We'll do the solution evaluation again next week then.
And we'll do better because we learned this week.
Absolutely.
So read through it, do your studying, make your flashcards, do whatever you got to do. You figured out some things that you need to improve using the gap that we just identified. We'll do it again next week. Well, yeah, next week, whenever we have the next meeting. 2
Whenever
weeks,
we have the
right?
next session.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys in 15 days.
Yes. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
guys.
guys.